Hey, Bill Young here. I've been cutting these thin plastic ear savers, the straps that go back behind your head and hook the pieces of your dust mask onto to take the strain off the back of your ears. People are really having trouble wearing these masks. Healthcare workers like doctors and nurses are having to wear them 10, 12-hour shifts these days, and it's causing sores and blisters. Just people that work in grocery stores and the post office and Walmart and wherever are wearing masks, and they're always fiddling and fussing and touching their face trying to get them adjusted. So this helps take it a little less uncomfortable to wear the mask. So I'm making a bunch of them. They're going to hospitals. I'm sending some to New York and Boston and lots of local groups here. But when I started cutting, the first couple of videos I did were cutting out of 12-inch by 12-inch pieces of this thin polystyrene, because that's what I had. And I was holding it down with double stick tape, and there was a little bit of prep and there was a little bit of cleaning up, and it was it was not a super efficient way to do it. It certainly put out straps at the end, and I cut a couple of hundred that way, but it was not efficient to do large numbers. So I've been fortunate enough to get some supplies of thin plastic from a couple of places, particularly Norva Plastics. My friends over in Norfolk, Virginia, who are great folks to work with. If you ever need anything in plastics, Norva Plastics are the folks to deal with. But they've been getting me the 0.02 and 0.04 high impact polystyrene, which works great. So I've been cutting them on my PRS gantry tool back there. And there's a couple of things that have really made it possible. One is vacuum. It's hard to hold this thin stuff with vacuum because it's so flexible, but you really need vacuum just to sort of keep it from sliding around and keep it in place and keep the little pieces, each little piece in place. So that's the first part. The second part is using a down spiral bit. So I'm cutting the ear savers with these 1/16 of an inch down spiral end mills, and I get them from a company called Precise Bits. I really like their stuff. They make all kinds of little itty bitty bits and specialty bits. They seem to hold really well. They also make really nice precise collets, which I've used on other tools. And one thing I really like about it is they can put these depth rings on that are set up exactly so that you know that you have a fixed distance from the end of the bit to this collar. So when you're using them, if you break a bit, you can just take the bit out, put another one in, and when the stop collar is right against the collet, it's exactly the same as it was before. So you don't have to worry about re-zeroing and going all that. With this pressure foot and the way I'm doing it, it's a lot quicker. I haven't broken any of these bits. I'm using the same bit I've used for at least 4,000 of these. This plastic's really soft, cuts real easily, and if you get the speeds right, it doesn't build up on the bit. So I had to get a 1/8-inch collet for my ER25 collet nut to go on my HSD spindle. I just ordered that online. The third piece of this puzzle is a pressure foot. So this pressure foot is basically just spring-loaded. It mounts on my old Shopbot where the dust foot mounted. So this goes on, remove the dust foot and put this piece in its place. And then it just rides around with the tool. When the bit's traveling, it's about 1/10 of an inch above the surface here. But when it starts to plunge, if I can do this in one hand, this foot pushes, the bit protrudes through the center, and the foot keeps pressure on the part. And it works really, really well. And it really needs the combination of vacuum, pressure foot, and the down spiral bit. And I never lose any of them. They always cut really well. And I can do a sheet of 450 or so in a 4x8 sheet. Takes about 2.5 hours to cut. I can do 2 sheets a day. It takes a little while, as you can see in the intro, to get the off-cut piece off, and they all stick in there. It's like trying to get fish out of a fish net. But they I can easily do two 4x8 sheets a day. Without much problem, I'll get up to 3 sheets a day. And it's like I said, I've made 4,000 or 5,000 of them so far. There's a big need, so I'm gonna keep cutting along, and I need to get back to cutting. So y'all take care, and see you next time.